Guys, welcome to 21 Days of Emotional Intelligence with Coach LDA. And this is day one. And in day one, we're going to be talking about recognizing your emotions. Now, for us to even start with, what are emotions, right? Emotions are, in my own way, I would say that emotions to brain is what your hand is to writing. So you have your hand and you're able to write with it, and again you have your brain, and part of the functions of the brain or part of the expressions of the brain is emotions. So, and the part of that brain that works closely in producing the emotion is what we call amygdala. Now amygdala is, is just a terminology, part of the parts of the brain, but the part of the brain that works closely with emotions is called amygdala. Now going back to why you need to recognize your emotions. Just the way your hands are not going anywhere, you either choose to learn to write properly with it or not. That's the same way your emotions are. Your emotions are not going anywhere. They are an integral part of you. And the earlier you start to use them well, the better. So why should you have your hand and you will not be able to write? So imagine growing up, you cannot write with your hands, you cannot pick up anything with your hands, and they're just there, and they start to malfunction or start to misbehave. When you give a toddler or like age 1 2, when you give them your pen, and the way they start to scribble on that book, they just, to us we call it rubbish. You say that child is writing rubbish, right? Because that child has not learned how to use their hand, to coordinate their hand, to make certain movements with their hands. It just writes anything anyhow, and for us we say, oh, he's writing rubbish. And that's the same way your emotions are. Your emotions are a part of you, they are an expression of you. And when you do not try to um, understand how it works and manage it, you're as good as that child scribbling. So is your emotion everywhere? This minute you are up, the next minute you're down, you're shouting here, you're doing everything here and there. You're just not coordinated, right? And that's just it. You're just not coordinated. So you need to understand that emotional intelligence is here to stay. It is a principle. So I don't know how many times you've heard it. I don't know wherever you've heard it. It is not a cliche. It is an important part of your life, and you need to learn how to use it. Is like your hand, is like your leg. You need to learn how to walk. You need to learn how to write. You need to learn how to go about your emotions in a certain way. So we've been able to identify that your emotions is very integral to you. We've been able to also let you know that you have to strengthen it. You have to learn how to use it. Right. Now, how do you now know your emotions? So in this part of psychology, it is stated that emotions are, they have like 8 basic emotions, right? Now, part of the things I need to also highlight when it comes to emotions is that there are no positive or negative emotions, right? I need to also set that standard straight to say that there are no positive or negative emotions. So for some emotions, you say maybe sadness is a bad emotion or negative emotion. No, it is not. Now, emotions, like I said, they are a response to what is happening in your brain. So, for instance, if you write your exams and you do not pass your exams properly, you will likely feel sad. If you lose a loved one, you will feel sad, right? So what your brain is trying to tell you is a response to stimulus. What your brain is telling you is that there's something going on here that you would not like, and you have to address it. So you've not seen someone in a long time and they show up, you feel surprised, right? You see your grades and you see that you got all A's, or you have a friend that, did something amazing to you, you're happy. So can you see that there are really no bad or good emotions? They are just expression of what is happening to you per time. So I would say that there are 8 basic types of emotions. You have the happy, you have the sad, and others. So if you want to get a worksheet of the types of emotions that we have, there's a WhatsApp group that you will join. We will drop the workbook for this class where we have all the basic emotions in there, right? So these 8 basic emotions, they are there to help you identify what you're doing per time. So for you, you need to recognize the emotions you're running with per time. At every time in your space, you need to know what exactly you're feeling, how exactly you're feeling. You need to be able to reflect on your emotion. You need to identify the thought process and your actions. And that's how you're going to go from that toddler that is scribbling or just going up and down, ziggy-zaggy with your emotions, to actually responding properly to emotions. So you have to start with, for today, we've been able to identify that emotion is an integral part of your life and it has come to stay. Another thing we've been able to identify is that there are no negative or positive emotions. Every emotion that comes to you is an expression or is a response to what your brain is perceiving. And when you're able to get what your brain says, then you can respond to it effectively. So if your brain feels like if there's something around you that you're not appreciative of, your brain gives you a signal and it says sad. And the next point of action will be that you will start to act in a way that would now correct that process, right? And the third thing we're trying to establish today is that you have to, at every point, I talked about the 8 basic emotions, and I said we would have our worksheets in the WhatsApp group where you can, access it and look at it. And you are going to now, at some point and every point in your life, be able to identify where and which of the emotions you're running with per time. Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling happy? Are you surprised? All of those things you need to. Are you angry? You need to know per time, because when you don't know, you're not able to influence it. We're also going to have an activity that would enhance you to start to recognize your emotions. And that activity is also in the WhatsApp. So you could click on the link, the WhatsApp group, like the link that takes you to the WhatsApp group already. So there's no registration link. You just click in there and we would have dropped the video content and the activity for the day. I hope you had a good time. See you tomorrow. Bye.